Good evening, live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. Here we present to you tonight's news bulletin. But first, the headlines. COVID-19 Supreme Committee allows Friday prayers and reopening of places of worship and participation in the events, exhibitions and conferences for those who received at least one dose of the vaccine. His Excellency the Foreign Minister discusses with His Excellency the U.S. Special Envoy to Yemen the exerted efforts to end the Yemeni war. And amid precautionary measures, the new academic year started in various governorates in the Sultanate. You are with the Sultanate of Oman television, and those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq received a cabal of thanks from the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud of Saudi Arabia, in reply to His Majesty's cabal of condolences on the death of Her Royal Highness Princess Dalal bin Saud bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq has sent a cabal of greetings to Her Excellency Bidya Devi Bahandari, President of Nepal, on her country's Constitution Day. The Supreme Committee in charge of examining mechanisms for dealing with developments resulting from the spread of the coronavirus COVID-19 in its continuous meeting has followed up on the developments of this pandemic and has reviewed the epidemiological surveillance reports that showed a decrease in the number of cases infected with the COVID-19 virus and a decline in hospitalized cases and intensive care units, as well as the number of deaths at the local level. The Supreme Committee had briefed on the progress of the immunization process against COVID-19 and the tireless efforts being made in all sectors and at all levels. In the context of the committee taking appropriate measures to deal with the pandemic in the coming period in a way that ensures public health on the one hand and business continuity on the other hand, and based on the recommendations of the specialized technical team, the Supreme Committee decided the following. First, allowing Friday prayers and reopening places of worship for those who received at least one dose of the vaccine until the end of September 2021, provided that the number of attendees does not exceed 50% of the capacity of mosques. The Minister of Endowments and Religious Affairs to undertake the tasks of organizing the precautionary measures approved in this regard and monitor their implementation. Second, allow participation in religious, social, cultural and sports activities and events, exhibitions and conferences for those who received at least one dose of the vaccine until the end of September, where the number of attendees does not exceed 50% of the capacity of the halls and sites designated for holding these activities and events. The competent authority has the task of organizing and monitoring the implementation of the precautionary measures for the mentioned activities. Third, suspending the decision to apply institutional quarantine to those coming to the Sultanate from the Republic of Iraq and the Islamic Republic of Iran, and subjecting those coming from the two countries to the same controls established for those coming from different countries of the world. The Supreme Committee stresses the need to adhere to the known precautionary measures, the most important of which are physical distancing, washing hands, and wearing masks when participating at gatherings of any kind, and calls on everyone to take the utmost precaution and caution in order to protect themselves and all members of their family and community. The Supreme Committee is constantly monitoring and evaluating the local and global epidemiological situation and will take appropriate decisions whenever needed accordingly. May God protect everyone from any harm. The Minister of Health announced one death and 114 new cases of COVID-19 in the Sultanate in the last 3 days. It also registered 226 recovered cases. The Ministry also reported that the total number of COVID-19 cases registered in the Sultanate reached 303,423, while the total number of deaths reached 4,093. The total recovered cases reached 293,844. The Ministry indicated that the number of inpatients during 24 hours is 6, bringing the total number to 61, of which 22 are in intensive care unit around healthcare institutions in the Sultanate. Reviewing latest developments in Yemen and the efforts exerted to end war, they topped discussions of His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamad Al Busaidi, Foreign Minister, with His Excellency Tim Linder King, U.S. Special Envoy to Yemen, who is currently visiting the Sultanate. Meanwhile, His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamad Al Busaidi, Foreign Minister, received His Excellency Hans Grunberg, UN Envoy to Yemen. During the meeting, the two sides exchanged viewpoints on the efforts made to secure permanent and comprehensive ceasefire from all parties in Yemen, along with facilitating entry of humanitarian aid. They also exchanged views on involving into political process from all parties in Yemen, which achieve aspirations of Yemeni people for safety, stability, national unity and reconstruction of the country. More than 700,000 students returned to classrooms across the Sultanate today, with schools putting in place COVID-19 precautions to safeguard all those on campus. Her Excellency Dr. Madiha Al-Shaybaniya, Minister of Education, said the return of students to schools was done under a national pandemic recovery plan based on positive health indicators. She added that the ministry has developed the curricula and the educational evaluation system to provide a balanced and integrated education to address the educational loss of knowledge and skills that students were unable to acquire during the past 2 academic years. The University of Technology and Applied Sciences received students accepted in the academic year 2021-2022 in the university branches and colleges in the various governorates of the Sultanate, and their number in the first sorting is 10,127 students. The current academic year is the starting point for the University of Technology and Applied Sciences with regards to the admission of students under the name of the university, as well as the implementation of the Unified General Foundation Program in all branches of the university, which was developed and prepared during the past academic year, where the study will begin in the foundation program for students newcomers for the first semester on the 26th of September. The university will organize an induction program for new students according to safe and healthy procedures during the period from the 19th to 23rd of September to introduce the new students to the various academic programs and the rules and regulations in force at the university. You are with the Sultanate of Oman television. Yet to come in our news bulletin. To enhance the water and wastewater services, a number of desalination plants are expanded in the Sultanate. And an investigation into the accident is underway. A French daredevil wowed crowds in the center of Paris yesterday by walking 600 meters on a tight rope between the Eiffel Tower and Trocadero Square. Nathan Paulin, a famous tightrope artist, relied on a narrow strip of rope just 1 inch wide to keep him safe. Thousands of people watched him start the walk from the first floor of the tower, 70 meters above the ground. He then made his way very carefully to a theater roof beside Trocadero Square. He stopped several times to perform extra stunts for the crowds. Afterwards, Pauline described the experience as a bit of a dream. Back here in the Sultanate, the Military Technological College received a new batch of students from different academic institutions to conduct the exams, interviews and medical checkups for training and teaching systems, followed by employment in cooperation with the Minister of Labour. The Military Technological College offers high diploma for those who have completed the second and third year major requirements and a bachelor degree for the students eligible to join the bachelor program. The Sultanate, represented by the Minister of Higher Education, Research and Innovation, participated in the 21st meeting of the Ministers of Higher Education and Research of the GCC countries, hosted by the Kingdom of Bahrain through video communication. During the meeting, they discussed ways to expand cooperation with the international and regional organizations in the field of exchanging experiences and information on combating the corona pandemic and addressing its effects in the field of higher education and scientific research, in addition to continuing to use electronic and integrated educational units or until after the pandemic, and focusing on education curricula in the areas of the fourth industrial revolution. The Sultanate was represented at the meeting by His Excellency Dr. Bakhit bin Ahmed Al Mahri, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Higher Education, Scientific Research and Innovation for Higher Education. Electricity distribution companies operating in the Sultanate will issue a recalculated electricity invoices for the months of May, June and also July, as per the new segments. This came in line with the government's orientation to amend approved tariff segments for a citizen's account for the residential category. A regular bill for July 2021 will be issued, including all details as per the newly expanded segments. An electricity bill of each month will be issued separately with an option to pay in one go or installments. Oman Water and Wastewater Services Company is working hard to attain water security and sustainability by expanding the establishments of desalination plants to provide high-quality potable water across the country. More details in the following report.
Water sustainability is encountered by various challenges, including the lack of renewable water resources, the dryness of the region, as well as population growth and urban, industrial and commercial expansion. Hence, Oman Water and Wastewater Services Company exerts strenuous efforts to ensure water security and achieve sustainability in this vital sector, through expanding the establishment of desalination plants to provide potable water of high quality.
The Oman Water and Wastewater Services Company has a clear strategy on securing the water supply to the customers in Oman. The strategy is based on expansions on the desalination of water in line with the growth of demand, as well to evacuate all of this water and transmit it all the way through cross-governorate transmission lines. We are undertaking now four strategic projects that are ongoing, and there is a good progress regardless of or despite the challenges we face on ground. These four strategic transmission lines are: the first is from Suhar all the way to Ibri in Al-Dhahira. We expect to operate it partially towards the end of the year. The other three strategic transmission lines are enhancement to the existing transmission lines, one from Suhar to Barka, and the other one is from Ja'lan Bani Bu Ali towards Al-Mudaybi, and the last one is from Barka to Al-Dakhiliya.
The demand for water is currently being met mainly from the existing desalination plants, while continuing to establish new desalination plants with different production capacities to meet the future demand for water according to the population, industrial and commercial expansion data.
We're exploring different opportunities. One of it is the artificial storage recovery system, which to enhance the security of supply through enhancing the storage capacities in the system. In addition, that we expect to float soon as well a new tender to reinforce the upstream or the upstream infrastructure in Nasib, Wilayat Nasib, to enhance or to cater for the increase in water demand.
Great attention is also being paid to strengthening the system of reciprocal linkage between the desalination plants spread in a number of governorates across the country by linking the main lines. Within the efforts of Oman Water and Wastewater Services Company to enhance water security, work is underway at an accelerated pace in a Dakhliya Governorate water reinforcement transmission line project to implement pipelines with a total length of around 190 kilometers. Salih Khalfan al-Rahbi, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
Watching the Sultanate of Oman Television, and now before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The COVID-19 Supreme Committee allows Friday prayers and reopening places of worship and participation in the events, exhibition and conferences for those who received at least one dose of the vaccines. His Excellency the Foreign Minister discusses with His Excellency the U.S. Special Envoy to Yemen the exerted efforts to end the Yemeni war. And amid precautionary measures, the new academic year started in various governorates in the Sultanate. And with that, we do conclude this news bulletin brought to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman Television. We are all happy that all the mosques are going to be open for Friday prayers, at least for those people who have received one dose of vaccination against COVID-19. So all of us, let's continue to follow the precautionary measures to stay safe and healthy. Good night to all of you.